Welcome to the Oaks Podcast. I'm your host, Travis Hall, alongside my wife and co-host, Ingrid.
On this podcast, we talk about all things real estate, entrepreneurship, business, faith, family, you name it, we talk about it, and how we do it all as an equally yoked husband and wife team.
We are glad you're here. Thanks for listening. Enjoy this week's episode. What's up, and welcome to this week's episode of the Yoked Podcast. I'm Travis. This is Ingrid.
Hi.
And we are excited. As
Yes.
always. I'm like extra excited. I had extra coffee today, so I'm just pumped.
And we have a blue sky.
Blue sky, new podcast chairs that I've been wanting.
I told Travis that we were locked into the podcast chairs. And then I found some chairs that worked a lot better. Hi, Boone.
Here's our episode of Boone, as always. Yeah, it's going to be great. We're excited. We have, what do we got going on? Real quick update for our followers that's been tracking our life.
Okay. So we're deep in ski team right now. We're about halfway through the season.
So deep that I'm looking at buying our own ski tuning gear, and I'm excited. I'm going to do it next year, I decided, but like the whole setup where I can be my own ski tuner.
I know. You kind of dig that stuff.
Oh, I dig it. I set up in the garage. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. We're also on like a health journey, I would say right now. We're doing a program that's like a metabolic nervous system hormone reset.
And it's going great.
Been honestly so eye-opening, the information that we've both gained about our own bodies. Like crazy.
Ingrid's doing the coaching and I just getting coached by Ingrid. So it's
well,
perfect.
you said, and this goes along with our episode today, I said, I want to do this. This is important to me. I think we need to invest in our health. And you were like, you shouldn't do it alone.
Absolutely.
And so I know, but not everyone's like that, babe. And so you have to understand, like, we have made a ton of progress and more progress individually because we're doing it together, for sure.
Right. And it's been awesome. I'm going to talk about it and tie it in one of our things today. But so our episode today is we're titling it Why Community Determines Your Trajectory.
Yes.
And I'm excited. It's such a good episode for anybody that wants to grow.
Yep.
It's, obviously in the business space, entrepreneur space, doesn't have to be an entrepreneur for this to matter to you. But if you want to grow, this episode is for you. And so as you guys know, this kind of stems from kind of reflecting on last week. So last week, quick recap, if you weren't following along, Ingrid and I had this amazing pleasure and honor of hosting the Creative Nation Tour meetup. Pace Morby, who's one of my mentors, group that I'm in, and he was traveling the country, 100 cities to do these big meetups. And he came up here to Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and myself and Alyssa Ritchie were the only Owners Club members up here, which is funny. We both had moved here in the last year. Alyssa didn't move here until November. And we both raised our hand and said, we will host.
Yes.
And so it kind of stemmed from that. It was an amazing success. It was so fun. It was electric. We had an Vantage Point Brewing. We rented out the whole brewery. It was amazing. We had
they were great hosts.
Oh, so great.
I mean, they were so laid back. It was so easy. They took care of so much, but also just comfortable. Like, we really wanted that. We didn't want some ballroom at a hotel. I mean, dollar signs, obviously, but also just like the feel and setting. Right.
And I should say, like, a lot of people that aren't in our space, family, friends, are like, what are you doing?
What were you doing?
What is a meetup? Yeah. And so for anybody that is confused right now, we had a group of 200 people. There was 230 RSVPs, yeses. There was no charge for RSVP. And then I think 180, 185 or something like that showed up.
Sure.
It was awesome. And the number doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about that, but that's just for perspective. And it is a group of people that are interested in the similar things. For us, it is a lot of real estate people, a lot of business people, a lot of people that are entrepreneurs or want to grow in some way, shape, or form.
And a lot of it centered around creative financing options.
And how to do real estate in a creative finance way. And we've talked about that on this episode, on this podcast. If you have no idea what we're talking about, go back to one of our think it's like episode like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
We talk all about creative financing. So that's like the stage. It's a community of people. And that's why we're leading into today. And so we have talked a lot about like community and what it is. And for us, what's cool and really thinking about what we did, on Friday and what happened. And the key takeaway was that room didn't happen just naturally.
Mm-mm.
It happened because 2 years ago, but 3 years ago, honestly, we made the collective decision that we wanted to level up and that we weren't leveling up in the exact space that we were.
Well, and I'll take you back even another step, which was we have done goals every year together as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last few years prior to that, we realized that in order to reach our goals, we needed to reach outside of people that were in our immediate sphere and had been for a long time. Not to knock on anybody, we have incredible community and friends, but we had outgrown our community in terms of a entrepreneurship, real estate
Right.
investing world. And we looked at our goals that we set together and said, we cannot get here without help from people who are ahead of us.
Right. Exactly. And so, especially in that lens,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so, like we've asked ourselves, like, what has changed
Mm-hmm.
since we made that commitment? And
Yeah.
there's a lot, but we want to go through 5 or 6 things that we think are important as
Yeah.
far as building a community
And
and
honestly,
reflections.
to challenge people listening, like, do you need a new room?
Right.
Because it's not going to fall into your lap. It's not going to fall out of the sky. You can pray for it. That's beautiful. I think you should. And you have to take action. So, like,
Right.
what do you do?
What do you do? And today is going to be chock full of, we got several pages of notes and talking points because it matters.
Yes.
Like this can change your life single-handedly more than almost anything else.
Because it can change every area.
Right.
So,
Truly. And yeah, so let's dive in.
yeah.
So first we should say community is not a social hobby. It's a strategic decision. And I love that idea of like community can be a hobby and a social group.
A social club centered, around running or, whatever.
And that's not what we're talking about.
No.
We're talking about a community that's strategic, a community that's pushing you forward, a community that has been where you're at and is ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
So like that is the community that we're talking about. This is a business community. It's not a networking lunch.
No.
That can be great, but what are you doing at the networking lunch? And so that's what we're talking about. Community is a strategic investment is number one. If you want a different life, you need to be in different rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. And that doesn't necessarily mean just physical rooms, but it means a different group. And so hearing that, like the core idea of that, like reflect on that a little bit for what you think. And obviously you and I are yoked together in this, and but that doesn't mean that you and I are both necessarily in the same room all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Owners Club, for example, which is one big thing we're talking about. Like I am the member of Owners Club, and that was on purpose.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
And I would say one of the biggest growth lessons in, getting into Owners Club was that we paid for it.
Correct.
And it was the first time in our business life that we said, in order to level up from where we are, we need a paid room. We need people who are equally invested in a monetary way because then you're committed to the growth.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody in there is going to spend $30,000 and not grow. And so I think that was one of the biggest choices was, and to the listeners, like, am I at a point in this area of my life, business for us, where I need to be in a paid room?
Right.
And it's an investment in your business.
When I think back even further, like a year prior to that, we made the commitment for me to join Sub 2, the group Sub 2, because I was interested in it. We had talked about it for years as far as like that style of real estate. We learned about it, when we first started out. The book talked about subject 2, and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Creative finance.
Yeah.
Short story, our first deal we ever attempted, our first deal we were under contract on, Boise, Idaho. It
A
was
lifetime
a
ago.
lifetime ago. God love the agent. The agent did not vet us at all as buyers.
And
But
you
granted, this is
should've.
2009, so the market was in a
Yeah.
dump. And I think anywhere you can get opportunities, we go under contract on a property, $72,000 manufactured home. We had no idea what we were doing with it.
No.
We were just taking action. So we're under contract, and the agent's like, "Well, how are you going to buy this thing?" And I'm like, "Well, page 37 of the book says creative finance, and so we're going to buy it with creative finance, not knowing what to do."
He's
And
like, "Oh,
it's
no."
just funny full circle. I've thought about that many times. I'm like, the first one, we had every intention of
So we
using.
lost our earnest
Yeah,
money
that was
on
the
that
first and only
deal.
we've ever lost earnest money.
I think too, like in addition to a paid room, I think it needs to be really uncomfortable because we were at a point in our immediate sphere of business professionals where we were the experts in real estate investing. I love being the expert. I love giving advice. I love you want to like shoot a problem back and forth and we can mastermind it and like pick it apart and solve it. I love that. I'll do that all day for free.
Hmm.
And we didn't have anybody that we could really go do that with. And
Yeah, we
so
were seeking.
we had to get uncomfortable because when you enter a room where you're like back down like small fish in the pond, you kind of feel stupid and you can feel pretty dumb. And you
Yeah.
need to get to a place of discomfort to grow.
I love that you said that because I vividly, even now, like in both myself and
Yeah.
Owners Club, I'm like, we talk a lot about imposter syndrome, and everyone has it. Everybody does. I don't think it ever goes away. But it's learning how to navigate it. But oh my gosh, first going into sub two, it initially was like going from big fish in a small pond to little fish in a big pond. And it's like intimidating. And you're
Hmm.
like, I want to go back to where I was comfortable,
Yeah.
but it takes a lot of humility
Yeah.
and lowering your pride to recognize, and it's for yourself. You're doing
Yep.
it for you and your family.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, and for us, it took the commitment of I'm not just gonna go start something and do it and be the guy. I'm going to join and pay for.
Yeah.
I think the key is and pay for
Hmm.
because when you pay, you have a vested interest
Yeah.
and you want to be a part. And you're like, this thing's $10,000 or whatever it is. Like, I better get my money's worth.
Hmm. And so I would say that like audience, like challenge questions, which is like, who who are you paying to learn from? Are you paying to learn
Right.
from anybody? And are you paying for professional services? And like this has honestly been a big rub in areas of our business where we believe we deserve to be compensated for a level of expertise and experience that we have that we bring to the table in deals. And it's been hard to figure out where that is
Hmm.
in different partnerships and with clients and with friends. And it's like, to some extent, if you wanna grow in an area, you need to go pay for professional services. It's just
Yes,
like the health program we're on. I'm
exactly.
done with the free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, free is great. And you can learn so much for
Oh,
free.
sure. Look at YouTube.
I mean, this podcast
Yeah,
is free. And like part of what we want to do with this podcast is help people and
for
like
sure.
teach and enlighten, but it's not the same as like actually hiring us one on one or hiring
Mhm.
us to consult on a deal. Another random story I just think about when I was an agent in Colorado a couple years ago. Remember this? It was like 2022. Rock and roll, and I met this guy, this young guy, super nice. I enjoyed, meeting him. We had lunch, and then he called me up, maybe a month later, and he had a buddy, like he was trying to buy a fix and flip.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so he's
I
like,
do
I know that you
remember
do flips.
this.
He called me, and I'm north side of town. I'm like an hour and a half from where he is. And he calls me. I'm like, hey, man, like, how you doing? We'll call him Bob. Bob's like, his name is not Bob.
I
Bob's
know who
like,
it is.
hey, man, like, I have this property. I'm under contract, and it's going to be, a great opportunity. It's close to where you live. I'm like, man, that's awesome. Congratulations. And so fast forward, he's asking me, he basically is saying like, can you come down right now, today, walk the property with me?
Let me know what you
Because
think.
this is my first one. I don't know what I'm doing. And like, I want to make sure it's a good deal. And I joked him at the end. I was like, man, I admire your audacity. I was like, but you're asking me to come down and do what I do for a living for free. And you are not going to pay me because you're under contract already. I said, I can't do that. Like, this is literally what I do for a living. And you're asking me because I'm a nice guy to do it for free. So it was just funny. And I was an hour and a half away. So I was like, I can't do it. But it is interesting. Like, who is the information you're getting purely free, or are you paying to be in the right room being coached by the right people? All right, let's move on because I can just keep going. Number 2, proximity compresses time. This is so good.
And so I would say, like, in general with community, one of the things we've learned, especially as we entered like a season of being a family and kids and being busy and having schedules, is that proximity is key. It is absolutely key. And you will accelerate like decision making and community if you have proximity ahead of time.
And like the biggest way that you can see this like accelerate in your life is when things are hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as you guys know, like the last couple of years in the real estate world has been just bad and really hard. And so I think back to being an owners club, 6 months in, we're at this point where we have this terrible partnership that's just falling apart. And we are kind of like, how are we so blind?
Yeah.
But we were human. And I think we saw rose colored glasses and the market's going down. We have this property. Like, what do we do? I'm trying to think through like super creative ways. We're hemorrhaging money. And I call a person that I know that's ahead of us
From Owners Club, from this paid community.
And, and I call him like, hey, like,
What do I
any
do?
advice? Like, I'm trying to do this. Like, this is what I'm thinking. He's like, yes, you can do that. He's like, don't do it. He's like, just fail fast and move on. He's like, trust me.
Cut your losses.
He's like, I've been there. Trust me.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it sucked and it hurt. And it's not what I wanted to hear, but he had been there.
And can you imagine still having those properties today?
Like
with the mental drain. I mean.
Well, and I mean, so many things. And it's like, that's what I was preparing for. We were trying to figure out like, how we just weather the storm, hold. Oh, let's hammer a little bit every month instead of this much. And oh my gosh. And then fast forward to now, like, so thankful for that. But I only got the access to that because I paid to be in that room and I had built a relationship with him.
Well, and I've thought about him and that exact, like, this is such a good learning moment many times. And I think if you stand in his shoes, he gained and lost nothing by giving you that advice. He actually lost a deal because he would have been the lender that we would have used to help us restructure this creative idea. And he lost and gained absolutely nothing, but he gave you the advice because you're in a paid group with him, and he can go turn around and ask the person ahead of him, what do I do when he's stuck? And it's like, don't think that you're taking for free from somebody when you're in a situation like this. They are getting something on the back end. They're getting it from someone else.
Well, and what's even better
the way it works
is that at our meetup, his name came up publicly with the speaker, with the microphone. And I gave his contact out to 3 people that came up and said, because I said, I have his contact. And because I talk so highly of him. And it's just amazing how that happened.
So I would say, like, to the audience, who are you calling when you're stuck? And are they somebody that you would trade places with?
That's the key. It's like, are they somebody who has been in your shoes before and has navigated through it?
And are you making multiple figure decisions in isolation? Are you trying to do it alone?
Well, an easy example is like a financial strain or financial trouble. Like, are you calling your buddy who's financially worse off than you?
Yeah.
And like, it's no offense to that buddy or that family member or whoever. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, do you have people that you can actually lean on that have been there and navigated it?
Or are you just calling the person that's going to affirm you?
Right.
Don't call the person that's going to affirm you. That's not growth.
Yeah, if you're having marital issues,
you've got great.
Don't call your best friend who just got divorced and was like,
no,
I would just get divorced because it's easier. Trust me, my life is so much better. Like, is that the information that you want?
Yeah.
All right, love it. Let's keep going. Number 3, growth creates tension. We've already hit on this one a little bit, but it's so real. When you
Yeah.
are the small fish in a big pond, that coming from the big fish in a little pond, it creates tension
Yep.
and like internal imposter syndrome. It creates internal, for me, like thinking about voices, who's speaking negatively into my life and not affirming it. Like in thinking about this, I was like really brain dumping. I'm like, honestly, right now in my life, like at times the biggest naysayer is me,
It's yourself.
is myself, my internal,
For sure.
that I have to like, no,
Yeah, you have to
no.
constantly recalibrate.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen by just uh sheer willpower. You
No.
recalibrate because of the rooms you're in
And
and
practice.
people who are
Right.
feeding into your life. And you go and you look at somebody who's like, gosh, you're like, how do you stay so positive? How do you stay so, encouraged? You're not going to go ask the negative person.
Hmm.
I will also say to this one is that not everyone's going to celebrate your growth.
Well, this is where it hits hard,
This gets
is that
personal.
in this example, like growth creates tension. It
Mhm.
can create tension amongst people that you love the most.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to be negative necessarily. It's just you are becoming a new person, a 2.0 version of yourself,
Mhm.
even with spouses.
Yeah.
It's like if
Oh,
you
I've
aren't
seen that.
yoked like this, and one of you is like, I'm going in this new path and I'm doing this new
Mhm.
thing and like I'm becoming an entrepreneur, for example, it's like, well, your spouse might be like, whoa, 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 that's not who I married. I liked who I married. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want you to change. And like, I'm gonna try to, like the crab analogy of like holding each other down. Like, it's not on purpose,
Mhm.
but it's very real.
Well, and in business, like, people can benefit from you staying small, but I will say we even saw this morning play out with our
Yeah, this is
daughter.
my example. Yeah, with
Yeah.
our daughter.
Tu tu
So this
Yeah.
morning, and I mean, granted, our daughter is 9, so it's different,
But she is like, "Brrr."
but it hits this to a
She's
T,
yeah.
and it is the same thing. So this morning, having breakfast, we're talking. We're not eating breakfast right now. We're fasting every breakfast, which is
Yep.
great. Have coffee and that's it.
Mhm.
And it's part of our new health program that we're on. And so Malin, our daughter, she was like, "So, Daddy, like after you're done with the program, are you guys gonna go back to the same, like the way we used to be, the way
Mhm.
you used to eat?" And I was like, "Well, yes, but with some changes, obviously."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Ah." I just wanted it to be back the way it was, because it's created some tension with her of like, mommy and daddy aren't just eating ice cream every night. We're eating healthy. And, and we're learning a lot about kids and their eating habits. And like,
Yes, we are.
and we're not making them do the same things as us. Like they had white rice last night with butter and it was delicious
Right?
looking. But we've talked a lot openly about
Yeah.
like, sugar and like things like that of like, wow, like this has been really eye opening. And she doesn't want it to change.
Yeah.
She wants to go eat burgers at Rogers whenever we want.
Yep.
And it's really
And,
fascinating.
like, she doesn't really gain or lose anything, right,
Right.
by the change into, like, a healthier life because she is a kid and her body needs different things and all that, and yet it's that rhythm, excuse me, that rhythm that she's used to of, like, we get ice cream and treats, and we get to go to Rogers, and it's been, like, hardwired, and it's not that it's not conscious.
Mhm.
Like, in that moment with her, she's not sitting there, like, trying to sabotage, and with a lot of, like, people's business partners, like, it might be extremely subconscious. With people's family, very subconscious. They just like the old version of you.
I mean, another example is
'Cause
we have a
comfortable.
great buddy. I mean, they've been on the podcast, Becca and Seth.
Oh, yeah.
They set out and they bought this construction business.
Mhm.
And it's amazing. They're rocking and rolling. They're crushing. It's super fun to watch and be the biggest cheerleader. And several people in the business world that we are in,
Yeah.
um, when they sought advice about like, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Granted, these people hadn't actually done what they're doing.
Mhm.
Um, it was, oh my gosh, like, why would you do that? Why
Yeah.
would you buy that kind of business? My buddy started that kind of business and lost all this money or failed. And it's like, just because they're in business or an entrepreneur doesn't mean that they are the right people or for that advice. Because
Yeah.
again, to the point of, have you been there and done it
Yeah.
and succeeded? and been where I'm trying to be.
And so are your closest voices aligned with your goals? That's the difference. And really, like, do you need to shed people who,
Yeah.
or just not share that part of your soul with
Right.
them?
And
Use some discernment.
do you need to shed that person from your advice category?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And does this person benefit by me staying small and sitting in that?
So good. This episode is fire.
Right?
It really is. All right, number 4. Community requires contribution. And this is
Even if
so
you
good.
think you have nothing to contribute.
This one hits hard for me because I
Yes.
think about the last couple of years. They've just been really hard. And I it's interesting. I'm a big thinker, but sometimes with this piece, I limit myself
Mhm.
to contribute to others on a grander scale.
Yeah.
And so like moving here, we knew it and it was like a gut check for me of like, all right, it is time to contribute in a big way.
Mhm.
And I look back at the wake in a positive sense of making that mindset shift from like June to now. And
Mhm.
it's like so much good has come out of just saying, yes,
Yeah.
I'm contributing.
Yeah.
Even like this podcast is
Yep.
amazing, like from that sense.
And you, like, you have something to give. Everybody does.
Mhm.
Even if all you're doing is asking the questions of the people ahead of you, that is contributing to them because every time you ask a question, they have to think, and it can be so valuable. And I would say, like, if you are sitting here thinking, I need a bigger room, but like, where is it? Like in Denver, very accessible big room,
Yeah.
huge community out there. There was not one here.
Mhm.
Like, do you need to build it? Is
Right.
it your turn?
Well, and it's interesting because we set out like we moved here and then I said yes. Day one, we're going to build a community
Yeah.
out here. We set that like not for us, not for us to be the face of the community,
Yeah.
but to build one. And there was one here. We didn't know it. It was smaller, and so we've gotten to know some of them. It's
That
super
means it
cool.
lacked a little bit of
Yeah,
leadership and glue and intentionality.
it lacks someone saying, "I want to build this.
Yeah.
Let's go." Look forward to it right now. We started this meetup in December actually. I'm just like, yes, come to our house. Let's do this. And there's been 20, 25 people showing up. Well, I had a men's breakfast today with some of these guys. We have a weekly Zoom call with these people. And the community is there. Like
Yeah.
it's being built. And like I'm getting texts every day from people like, hey, what about this? Any ideas with this? And it's so fun to be like truly back in this role of like teaching and helping and guiding in things that I know, like, and trust and I love. And
Yeah.
so, but I had to make the decision of saying, I'm going to contribute this.
Well, and like you can play to your strengths. I mean, you are, in the owners club, like actual mastermind, paid mastermind.
Right.
I ride shotgun everywhere. And like I knew that one of
With a hand on the
my,
wheel sometimes.
well, most of the time. I knew one of my contributions was hospitality. And I was like, we will not build this community up here if kids are not welcome.
Hmm.
And like, I love Denver and all the meetups, they were all at bars, super busy, loud, no kids there. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not our life. And that's not life up here in this
Different culture.
region. And it's a different culture. And so it has meant opening up, like, our home and finding a place like Vantage that has a kids area where kids can come. Nobody feels like they have to leave them at home in order to fit into the community, like, that was intentional. That was and so even if you don't think you have something to contribute or how can I do this, you absolutely do.
So true. It's so real. And
Mhm.
that's like the foundational thing of what we're doing now is like,
Yeah.
hey, bring your family.
Yeah.
If you can't come unless family comes, bring them. Like our kids might be there running around
Bring
having
your
fun.
girlfriend, bring your, like, kid, bring your teenager,
And
your
even more
son-in-law.
like encouraging others to contribute.
Yeah.
Like it's not there's a time and a place to take for sure and
Mhm.
listen and learn. But I think about Ryan
Mhm.
from the meetup and newer guy in this community. I've met with him on via Zoom. We met him in person. Super good guy, but he's definitely timid and he definitely feels imposter right now. Like I don't know what I'm doing,
Mhm.
but he helped sponsor the meetup.
Yeah.
on purpose. And he's
I
like,
know.
I
I
just
was
want to help.
amazed.
And I'm like, man, people need to know you.
Yeah.
And it's so cool. And like, that is just like being willing to contribute. And he ponied up and said, I want to help pay for this thing.
Yeah.
And like, it's just amazing.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, your marriage needs community too.
Yes.
It's so good. And it ties everything back to yoke, but it's true. Like for us, business, marriage, family, like there's a lot of bleed
Mm-hmm.
together. It blends. And so how do we do this together? And so for us, marriage is the foundation. Our family is the foundation. If this doesn't have community, if this is siloed in a different area, like nothing else really works very well.
Yeah. And so, um, I mean, this goes a lot to some of our other projects we're working on, which are tools essentially to help entrepreneurial couples or where one is an entrepreneur and one isn't to get aligned in goals because it can be a real lonely path of
Hmm.
entrepreneurship can. And your marriage needs community too. And you don't need somebody, and hear me, ladies, you do not need friends that you run to only when you wanna complain and things aren't good at home and you need a sounding board. You need somebody that better be the same person that you run to when things are real good. And if you're only doing one, like, take a inventory of yourself because your marriage also needs community.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with guys. I mean, I feel like we know like, and I say this in the most humble way possible, but Ingrid and I together as a married couple, we are we are outliers in this
We are.
space. We just are. Um, and there are a lot of other people, married couples that do work together. There
Mhm.
are, but they're harder to find.
Yeah.
Um, it's just, and so if you are one of us, like find others that are like you.
Yeah.
Like try to find those couples that are at least really yoked and aligned and supportive of each other and
Mhm.
like that you can grow together as a married couple doing business.
Yeah. And if you find yourself in a marriage right now where one of you is growing and the other is resisting, please send us a DM. Please, because we have tools that can help you, but honestly,
Yeah.
like you don't have to be there. That doesn't have to be your reality.
Mhm.
I remember when I first started the evening mops at Red Rocks. And I started it
Which is a
because
mom's group.
yeah, we only had daytime moms groups, so it's like all of us working moms had no community. So I'm like, enough of that. Let's do evening mops. Um, I was so careful to downplay the health of my marriage because a lot of women showing up in the room at the time had struggling marriages. And it's a really challenging time as you start to grow your family, like your whole world just like in an instant overnight.
Yeah.
And a year or so in, I got to the point where I was like, I have got to stop doing this. And it was a total reality check of like, I need to be the light for people's marriages. Like, I need to stop playing small and diminishing what I have just so they feel comfortable enough to share. I need to bring them hope. Like, this is what you can have in this area. And so, like, just don't don't settle.
Mhm.
Don't settle for the small rooms and the relationships that don't feed you in those areas.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's like, I mean, like you naturally oftentimes in a group like that, you feel like you need a mirror,
Mhm.
like a mirroring in tactic where it's like somebody's being kind of downer. And it's like, it is interesting, especially like the way that we're wired. Like you naturally want to be like, oh, yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that at different barber shops I've gone to, and I tend to not go back.
Right.
If they go and like, just like this, all these bros, and they're like just talking super negative and talking about females in a negative way or they're ladies, and I'm like, I don't resonate with you. And
You don't want me to be your
I'm
lady?
like, you do you, but I don't need to be around this. I want to be around someplace that actually is, it
Yeah.
pushes me up and I feel good, like,
Okay, you're actually talking about our last point, so we should go there, which
yeah,
is, like, audit your inputs,
audit your
and
inputs.
that is social media, podcasts, books, barbershops, who your kids hang out with at school, who your like, literally every area is an input into your life and your brain, And do you need to take an audit of that?
That's so real. And it's like in today's world, in our culture, and all the darkness that we see out there, we had this conversation just yesterday. It's like there's just a lot of negative, and it's real. And I'm not saying turn that input off, but don't let that input actually like affect the way and the direction that you're going.
Yeah. Are you operating out of fear?
Right.
Or is this conviction? Like, is it comfort? Are you being called? Do you have a purpose? Like, what voice is it that you're listening to? Because the devil, he's pretty sneaky.
And the devil's real.
Yeah.
He's the most sneaky of them all. And so, yeah, I mean, are you just listening to music because it feels good? Or are you listening to something that's like, I want to grow. I want to learn this. I want to listen to this podcast. And maybe your podcast isn't about true crime, about a murder case that's never been solved, although it's
that happened down the street while you got kids down the street.
Yeah, and you're terrified to go outside. It's like, maybe you listen, like, are you interested in something else? Like, there is so much, and this is where it's like, there's so much free stuff that you can just learn from and like, just try.
But there are so many people, and I'm just going to generalize, but women, mostly, the books and the podcasts they listen to set them into an anxious cycle of fear, or they are painting a very, very picture of a fantasy that can't be reached. And that's the same thing pornography does. And it's like,
it's a romance novel. It's not porn.
Oh, the inputs into your brain matter. Like,
they do.
What are you listening to?
Absolutely. It's so real. And like, or what are you watching?
Yeah. What are you watching?
What is your social media, thread, your algorithm? What is it showing you?
Yeah.
Is it showing you how ICE is because that's what you like to watch and how the leftist is crazy? Or is it showing you how bad ICE is because the leftist is great?
Now we're headed down a
It's
path.
both sides. At the end of the day, Jesus is our king. And for us, like, we are going to get better and grow every day, even in the hard times, because
it's a choice.
That's what we do. Yeah, exactly. It can be scary, but what are we going to do? Put our head in the sand and just do nothing? That's not what the world needs. It needs people like us to stand up and actually move the ball forward.
Oh, I love it.
I love it too.
That was awesome.
I hope this is helpful.
I know. If nothing else, I hope it gave you a swift kick in the tushy for going out and finding your community. If you are feeling stuck, maybe the reason you're feeling stuck isn't necessarily you. Maybe it's the people around you and you need a refresh.
Absolutely. Well, we love you. We thank you for listening and watching.
Yeah.
You want to close this out?
Yes. You can find me at the Ingrid Hall on Instagram. You can find Travis at the Travis Hall on all the socials. As always, like, subscribe, and follow along. We have book club next week.
Yep. And if you need us, send us a DM. Our website's partnerwithnorth.com. We've got a lot of resources on there as well. And yeah, until next week. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Yoke Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.
And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we drop a new episode each week.